our MINWO moment. So our MINWO moment segments are a way for us to talk a little bit about our journey as a company and tie it into the business topic of the month. So as you remember, the business topic of this month is core competency. And I wanted to share a little bit about our launching journey and how we essentially had to have a moment where we really thought about what our core competencies were. So we launched in April. We essentially came to market with a few assumptions that we had learned through the 2 years of research that we had done prior to launching. So we had worked with clients in beta, we had worked with partners, potential partners, we had done market research studies, all of that stuff. And so we came to market with what we thought was essentially the best plan that we had at the time. And after launching, what we found is that some of those things went really well. Some of those validations were checked off the list, and we're like, okay, great, let's continue with this. And then there were other things that we thought would work well that didn't go so well, which is fine. You know, that's how business goes. But what we found in those areas is that we were also surprised by things that we could not plan for. There are other things that popped up. Clients wanted this. We realized that, social media followers wanted that. And we found ourselves over the next couple of months kind of chasing just about every lead that came our way. And what we found out over time was that was not quite sustainable. And it's because that it really wasn't in any of our wheelhouses, right? It wasn't really any of our strengths. So over time, after a while, as CEO and, essentially head of business strategy for the company, I had to sit down with myself and really think about, okay, what are we doing? Right? So if you remember the definition of core competency, it's your capabilities and advantages that separate you from the rest of the market. So I had to think to ourselves, what are our capabilities? What are our advantages? And who are the people that we set out to help in the first place? So I sat down and I really thought the main reason, the real reason why I started this company was because there's business knowledge that's available that I believe our community, being minorities and women, do not have access to at scale. So being in business school right now and being one of very few Black people in the program, just looking around, I realized that if we as Black people are not in the classroom, we're obviously not getting this knowledge. And if we're not getting this knowledge, we can't apply it to our own businesses. So that was really the driving force behind why I wanted to start this company. And then 2 was, what are the things that I feel like I have to be doing that I may not necessarily be good at? And how do I find a way to complement that? Or how do I find a way to outsource it in order to be able to allow myself and my team to focus on the things that we really are good at? And that for us was social media, or at least the way that social media makes you believe you have to market on social media. And so we found ourselves trying to keep up with the, post every day trend or the create hot content trend. And so we had to really sit down and have a discussion with ourselves. How are we going to obviously market our content or market the information that we have to people in a way that's effective, but also stay true to our strengths as a team? And what we ended up doing was, what you see here, we decided to switch to more video-based content, just because it's what we consider to be one of our strengths. We are storytellers. We are people that like to talk. And a lot of the things that we want to share are easier to explain or discuss in video format versus in large text or blog articles, which we did try for a little bit. So we did that. And then also we realized that when it comes to outsourcing, the management of creating some of our, our more static content, so like the pictures that you'll see on our Instagram, those are the things that we realized that aren't really in any of our wheelhouses. And so those are the things that we tended to procrastinate on. They just didn't come out very well. It ended up creating more stress and anxiety than really needed. So we are working with some of our friends, some of the partners that we have on the platform to help us in those areas so that we can not worry about that. We kind of give them direction. We kind of tell them what we're looking for and then let them go do. And we're able to focus on what are the business tips and the business knowledge that we want to make sure that we're creating content around to provide our clients and our partners with. So that's just how we manage to deal with core competencies and making sure that we are staying focused on the things that really matter to us, as well as our clients and our partners. hopefully this was helpful. I would love to hear more about your company. How have you guys been managing your core competencies? How do you feel like you've strayed at all from what you started off doing, and did you find a way to pivot back? Love to hear from you in the comments below.